What's going on, people? Today we're going to go ahead and go over some of the Baron highlights for the last week. But before we get into that, a lot of you were asking and you have received the 1+1 coupon special. Now this one is the dad special, which, by the way, happy Father's Day for all of you fathers out there. And even if you don't have a kid, if you have, I don't know, say some kitties or something along those lines, I still think that you qualify. So happy Father's Day to all of you out there. There is actually a lot of good packs that you can possibly get with this coupon. And technically speaking, celebrating fathers, this new pack that came out is actually pretty decent pack with a caveat. At least that's what I would say. The artifact coin does not scale very good, if at all. Like, it's just terrible. The only thing that would make this worth it is the Star Scrolls. The Star Scrolls, I believe, go up to 183 at $100. The artifact coins, however, only goes up to 1,500, which is abysmal. And then the Brilliant Astrolite chest, you do get a fair bit, but I don't know if you guys know this, but the Brilliant Astrolite chests, they're just not very good for drops. Like, a lot of times this is what you get instead of this. So yeah, if you don't need the Star Scrolls anymore, this pack loses value so fast. But there are a lot of packs out there that are still really good. Tons of Tokens is actually really good. That Celebrate is pretty good. Rising Champion, and then Mythic Forge. So there's a lot of packs out there that you can use this coupon with. And even if it's just a $5 pack, if that's all you can get or want to get or whatever it may be, make sure that you use it. Hell, even if it's the dollar pack, just take advantage of it. In the meantime, we have about a week before we get KVK, because I do believe KVK is this weekend. So that means that we have about a week of pretty much nothing too much going on. But then once KVK starts, and you got KVK, then you got Guild Fest right after, etc. So with that being said, CAE is recruiting. We are recruiting T5 players with sigils active. You guys know the drill. That's what we're looking for. We're trying to get to full, really. And LOF is also actively recruiting right now, and they're looking for T4 players active. See, we prefer people that don't get zeroed and they realize like the dangers of not being shielded and whatnot in this day and age. So that's what we're looking for. So if you are interested, go ahead and go over to each guild, check out our public board, and see the requirements on who to reach out to. But yeah, we'll be looking in the next week to recruit. But yeah, let's get on to the Baron highlight. So last Baron we were actually matched up against KW and CU and quite a few other guilds actually. It was a pretty busy Baron. And for the most part I think we did fairly well. Most of our rallies were pretty good. There were a couple of bad ones in there, but I mean, it's Baron. A lot of times you're gonna get some good and some bad. On this one we actually hit second and almost capped them. But as you guys may remember, even if you cap somebody nowadays, it's not even as punishing as it used to be, because they get released in 5 minutes, so it doesn't really matter. Now on this one, we lost it, but Mott actually came up and cleaned up right after. And the reason we lost it, if you take a look at the report here, is because they basically had a counter to us. We were like a 7-9-4 and they were a 9-7-4. So it's like they had heavier inf to our heavier range, and usually you guys know how that's gonna go. So yeah, there was that. After a while, Spartan did have to go, so I ended up piloting the account. And I decided that since All Saint was going a lot of 4-4-2, I would just load up Inf Blast until he changed it, and I would just follow him in. And on that occasion, it was the same thing. It was 4-4-2, or at least some sort of variation. Sometimes he would go like 9-7-4, etc. So it was very predictable. Now on this one, I loaded up a 208, and this one was actually scuffed because Brawls was supposed to hit first, but unfortunately we got carpeted in front of Brawls, which threw everything off, which it was like, Not to mention it's woody, so it's already a thick account as it is. You can't really mess that up. But considering that it was supposed to be the second hit, not the first, it wasn't too bad, although it was not the greatest. Regardless though, right, you gotta give it a shot and see how it goes. I think he was very smart going cavalry formation, because that means that my rally pretty much took out a lot of his cav, but he was able to then take on brawls. The brawls probably went 992 if I remember right, so that probably worked to his advantage. So on this one, I loaded up 208 again, just to kind of switch it up again, and then try to pull as quickly as I can. Although if you really think about it, it's only taking me about 1 second to pull, maybe, but even that can be a little bit slow. But taking a look at it here, he took that in a range phalanx, and if you know 208, if you want to defend against a 208, generally speaking, you want to usually go range wedge, so that worked out in my advantage. So again, we were going up to All Saint to see if we can get him in, but unfortunately, by the time we got there, there was nobody there. But we got lucky enough that whoever it was that sped their troop in, sped their 974 into my full inf blast. So it did not work out very well for them, and we got lucky on that one, that we had a counter going in there. And you know, with Baron, sometimes you release to hit somebody and you end up hitting somebody else, so it can be a bit of a toss-up sometimes, for sure. But either way, I kept going with the inf blast, because the thing about it is that if somebody is being super easy to read and it keeps working, why would you switch anything up? So I just said, listen, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing until something changes, right? If he continues to go 442 or 992, etc., I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So I take a look at his gear. Literally, I only looked at his gear, didn't even scout it or anything, because I have been hitting him with inf blast and he's not changing anything up. So I said, okay, well, we're just gonna keep doing the same thing until it backfires on us, because goodness gracious. And once again, we go ahead and hit him out. I pull out in the next second or so. So I mean, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, how is this guy not switching anything up? It's fairly obvious that we're targeting them. They're going the same comp. We're going the same comp. Like, just switch it up. Just switch it up, right? And that's all I kept saying. I just kept saying, I'm gonna keep doing it until he changes something. And well, well, he changed something. Maybe it wasn't necessarily the comp, but check out what happened here. So we go ahead and we speed up, right? He pulls last second, and then we get smashed with a cav. Yeah, a cav full counter. Not only that, but a cav Blackwing full counter. Listen, needless to say, that was not great, but I'm happy to say that that was really the only, like, really bad hit of the whole Baron, which, if you guys know how Barons usually go, you probably run into a couple of those, especially if you're rallying for the full 4 hours or however long. So, you know, I was like, okay, look, if we can keep that one as the only bad one, and then all the other ones look the way that it's been looking, I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. Now, at this point, it was fairly late into it, and I was like, okay, Hunt Finarch is one of those, like, super dummy thick accounts. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Blackwing, pop a 70 because I'm gonna need it, and summon that Black Dragon with Hellfire.
Red Eyes Black Dragon. Inferno Fire Blast.
That's right, I was using a Blackwing and hoping for the best, and there we go. And then of course I had to pull out really quick because I did not want the same thing to happen again. And to my surprise, considering how dummy thick Hunt Finarch's account is, I'm pretty sure he's like full Astrolite, a crazy amount of stars, all of that. It was so freaking close. but we got the win. I mean, look how freaking close that is. Even with the counter, like, jeez. But either way, Hunt Finarch actually did end up winning the Baron. So big shout outs to KW7. They're old allies, and see you and them boys. They definitely deserve that win. And also remember, guys, CAE is recruiting T5 players, LOF active T4 players. So hit us up. Appreciate you guys for coming through. And until later, bye.